I just showed you how not to do it with dry material. You can do this and mix it in a bucket here with water and a stir and all that kind of stuff. Or you do what I do. Pour it in a machine that is made for mixing things up. Try not to spray the walls. Keep it in the bucket here. Okay. It's mixed. Now, you can do like, let's say 1 part ore to 1 part water, maybe 2 parts water to 1 part ore. You don't need any thinner than that. The thicker it is, the better, because we're trying to make a slurry out of here on the table anyway. So let's leave it a slurry. And you can see I don't have any water here. Now I did put a little bit of surfactant in this material, but you can see how little suds I have, and that's important. Now, actually you can see how much gold we got. That fine material was mixed really well. So we have a lot more fine gold. Mixing that really well, you can see that we broke a lot of the fine gold away from the particles, and they all just stick together. They don't like adhere to each other. So here we got a lot more fine gold. Here's our sulfides again. Here's our black material. I have no idea, but I would be taking all of this material, firing it, and finding out what it was. Now what I'm going to do is actually lower the table. We're going to take all this material out here and take it into this bucket. So here we do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first take the little plug that you have put in there, and then I'm going to lower the table. And that's what this jack makes it a lot easier to do that with. And of course you're going to get wet here, so that's the name of the game. You can see how the line's moving up the table as I drop this down farther. Did you hear the noise change on the table? Well, that noise change means it's now tightened back down to where it's supposed to be. Now you can see how your material's starting to now run up here, go out here. Okay, now you can see how your material is now feeding in there, feeding out of here, going into our bucket. This is a production setup now. You can now start feeding tons per hour to this thing. Everything's coming down here, and now you're finished. Now, we have a little bit of material here, but what that does is, as you're feeding it, all that light stuff that we saw earlier when I took off everything and it went down, well, that's now always being pushed. So you have very little of that material. But at the end of the day, everything on the table is a concentrate. If it's a concentrate, it's got gold in it. To tell if this table is working properly, is this mass of material that you have on the table has to be loose. In other words, you should be able to come up here, put your hand on that set, and your hand should work right to the tabletop. If you put your hand on top of that dirt and it feels like this tabletop here, it's solid, meaning it's not working right. It means you need to either turn up the beat or find out why it's packing. If it's got clays, you need surfactants. So you're looking for that softness. Now, if you did what I just did, you turned it off, you adjusted and brought it up and stuff, a number of ores will at that point pack. So when you get it back up to where it's supposed to be, you have to come back in here and loosen this back up so it's working again. If it's a solid unit, the gold and everything that you're feeding on top of it at that point just overflows and keeps going. Once again, I'm into gold mining. I don't move dirt.